people who know me well or have been following this channel for a very long time remember that I worked with mobile phones as a mobile phone developer for quite a few years before going back into electronics. And I recently got a present because I also used to run a Palm OS news service for many years, which was a box of leftover Palm PDAs. And in the following steps, I just want to quickly unbox them together with you. Yes, this box is positively huge and it's filled to the brim with a surprise. So let's start to dig inside. And already on the top we find an insane amount of cradles. This is just positively crazy. You see here we've got all these docking stations where you could put the Palm PDA inside and push the button and then the synchronization would start. This one is in a bit of a badish state, but who cares? Here we find another absolutely legendary thing. We find the docking station for the Sony Clié, and it's just absolutely insane what we have around here. And this thing is also a rarity. This is the docking station for the Palm 5. And you see it's very heavy, not only because of the steel inlay here at the bottom, but also because the charging intelligence for the handheld is in the cradle and not inside of the PDA. And here we find a leather sleeve, wallet type thingy, and here in the front you see the very original Palm powered logo. This is just really sweet. And so now we are starting to approach the PDAs one by one. Here we have a visor. This is the handspring version of the Palm. And the unique thing about this one was the springboard, but it seems to be missing on this machine. And then, yes, we've got another one of my beloved Palm 3Cs. That's the organizer which got me started in the PDA space. And here we have a Casio pocket viewer. That's a long story for another day. Yes, and it starts to get sweet. The Zire 71. You could slide it open and you had a camera. And this is one of the very first units of this type with a PDA, and it's just a piece of history. And here we find a case from Brando Workshop, and inside another Palm TX, which is the last ever Palm PDA produced. And this is the Palm wireless keyboard. That's also for another day. Oh, and here we have the Palm 5. One of the first wide-scale applications of surface mount technology in the PDA space. And as we see, this one was upgraded to Palm OS 4.1 later via an upgrade for the ROM patch type upgrade thingy. And here we have another beloved PDA, an absolute legend, the Tungsten T, which is the first machine where Palm brought out OS 5 and ARM. And here we have another Palm 3C. Good boy. Oh, and here we see another Tungsten T, this time with this clip-on cover, which was also a very unique idea Palm had originally on this unit. And yes, these are OMAP powered. Another Palm 3C. A Tungsten T3, where we see the original stylus. We see this really innovative thing where you had a spring-loaded stylus, and of course you had this slide thing at the bottom again. And here we have an M100, which is basically the first low-end, the first time Palm really tried to go after the cheap market. And here we have the Clie with this leather case. That's one of the Sony machines. We have to make a separate video on the role of Sony one day. I'm just showing it to you, and I'm showing to you here this plastic piece which holds the leather flap on the front. And a Palm VX. That's a Palm V with more memory. And here we have something really valuable, an original Palm Pilot. That's basically one of the very first generations. That's the Pilot Professional, and basically this is a genuine piece of compute history. Sadly, we see the case is cracked a little bit here in the back. A Palm M105, it's basically a M100 with more memory. And another Palm Pilot original unit running 2.0, and this is a Palm Personal, so this is even more rare than the, and you see it's still a US Robotics branded one. Here we have an IBM workpad. That was basically Big Blue rebranding Palms in a black housing. And another Casio pocket viewer with this clip-on lid. And a Palm M505 in its carrying case. That's also a topic for a separate video of its own. And another official Palm branded carrying case. And here we have a Palm M125. That's a really weird unit, because basically it has the SD slot, and it has the high performance CPU of the M500, but it uses the cheap housing of the M100 series. And it's time to continue. Here we have the Palm Zire, which is basically the ultra low-end unit, which was sold in blister packs in the end. This is a Palm portable keyboard, that's also for a rainy day. Another T3, another Casio pocket viewer, a case, probably for a Palm, either Palm 5 or Palm M500 series. Another Palm Pilot Classic. Another Palm VX. One of the monochromatic Clies. This unit is very rare as well. And here we've got all kinds of documentation, of course, at the bottom. But before that, oh, we have the Treo Palm 3. It's also an absolute classic. some protective flaps, more cables, a whole bag of them, another M100, one more M100, Palm 5, an M505, portable keyboard, that's also a classic. I love this one. See, it opens like this and then you can shift it together like so. That was a genius piece of hardware at the time. Another pocket viewer. An M515, that's also a very rare unit. That's the successor of the M505 with a brighter display, but this at the bottom was not backlit and it had 16 megabytes of RAM instead of 8 megabytes. Another Zire. Another Palm 3C. I told you they flock. That is a Palm M500. It's also a pretty unique unit. SD slot, 33 megahertz, but monochromatic screen. Lots and lots of documents. And the legendary Palm OS programming Bible. And here a sticker for the much maligned Graffiti 2 after the Xerox lawsuit. Another M500. Another Sony Clie with the legendary jog dial you see here on the back. And one of the German books by Markt und Technik on Palm development. And of course, Burkhard Kainka's classic control with Palm OS. More cables. And another docking station from Palm, like you put it like this. It's also pretty interesting design. And yes, here we have another two classics, Palm OS programming with GCC and O'Reilly's network programming guide. And then we have a few stragglers left over. Firstly, more documentation. Secondarily, packaging material. And finally, one last M100. And that was the legendary box. Well, what more should I say? In a way, this was my youth. And if any one of you wants me to make a more detailed video on some of these organizers, let me know and I would be honored. Also, leave any comments down here, please, especially if you've been following us since the TamsPalm days. And I wanted to say thank you so much for being here. Bye bye.